He walked onto the stage with nothing but a broken smile and a story carved into calloused hands. A carpenter, quiet, rugged, invisible in the world's eyes. But that night, under the lights, he didn't bring wood or nails. He brought a song. "For my wife and son," he said. The music began, raw, trembling, imperfect. But within moments, strangers wept. Judges leaned forward. Something in the air cracked open. He sang about sacrifice, about working 16-hour days for a family who never looked back, about building a home only to sleep in it alone, about dreams left rotting in the garage while life passed by. And when the final note hung in the silence, it wasn't applause that mattered, it was truth. He said, "I lost them. I lost myself. I don't know who I am anymore." The crowd cried. Social media exploded. Comments poured in. "I see my father in him. That's my story. I thought I was the only one." But then, the twist. He wasn't real. He was AI, a digitally rendered ghost. The song synthetic, the backstory fabricated, and yet the tears were real. The ache was real. The mirror he held up to the world, brutally honest. Why did we believe him? Because he spoke from the survival spectrum, the first of the four, where we trade identity for obligation, where we shrink ourselves to fit paychecks and promises, where we become ghosts while still breathing. But his story didn't stop there. Ours doesn't have to either. What if that carpenter woke up one morning and said, "I matter more than the roles I play. My voice isn't a gift for others to ignore. I will move from surviving to seeking." That moment, that choice, is where the seeking spectrum begins. And from there, the sovereign and the sacred. So, even though Ernesto was fiction, he became the doorway to something real. A reckoning, a reminder, a resurrection. Not just of a story, but of you. You who kept going when no one noticed. You who built everything for others and forgot your own soul. You who are finally ready to move out of survival and into something holy. This script isn't about a man who sang a song. It's about you hearing your own voice again. There's not just one kind of awakening. There are four. And the world you live in, your relationships, your pain, your purpose, depends on which spectrum you're vibrating in. Most people never make it past the first spectrum. They live and die reacting to life, not creating it, trapped in survival, addicted to drama, and mistaking chaos for passion. But you're not most people. First spectrum, survival. It begins with survival, the first frequency we're born into, a place where your nervous system is wired to scan for danger before it learns to look for beauty. You make choices not from dreams, but from the fear of losing what little you have. Survival doesn't shout, it whispers in thoughts like, what if I fail? What if they leave? What if I'm not enough? It turns life into a chessboard of avoidance, calculating every move to stay safe, invisible, acceptable. You work jobs you hate, stay in relationships that starve you, shrink your voice to fit rooms too small for your spirit, and call it being realistic. But what's real about a life that doesn't feel like yours? Spectrum 2. Conformity. Survival teaches you to stay alive. Conformity teaches you to stay acceptable. But the price? Yourself. You stop asking, "Is this right for me?" and start asking, "Will they approve?" And in chasing their approval, you slowly evict your own soul. You say yes when you mean no. You smile when you want to scream. You follow rules that don't fit you, just to keep your seat at someone else's table. And one day you realize you've buried your truth so deep you can't find it anymore. Spectrum 3. Awakening. Awakening doesn't begin with light. It begins with discomfort. A restlessness creeps in. The job that once impressed you now drains you. The conversations feel hollow. The applause meaningless. You begin to suspect that the life you built wasn't really yours. This is where the soul starts tugging on the leash, not loudly, but persistently. In the quiet moments, the long walks, the sleepless nights, the questions you buried begin rising like smoke. What am I doing here? Whose dream is this? Is this all there is? Awakening is not glamorous. It's grief. It's shedding identities you once clung to for safety. It's watching your old self rot and having the courage not to rescue it. You stop chasing validation. You start chasing truth, even if it costs you everything. And in that moment, you are no longer asleep. You are breaking open.